Mr. Mohit Gang, co-founder and CEO at Moneyfront. Now, thank you for joining us here on First Take, Mohit. Good morning to you. What's driving this buying interest in the pharma stocks? And there are 5 or 6 verticals: hospitals, diagnostics, business. Among those verticals, what would be your preferred bet?
Hi, Suyash and Amit. A very happy morning and a very happy 2024 to you and your viewers. Look, I think, yes, if you ask me, the year has started on a very, very good note and a very strong footing for the entire pharma pack. And I think Amit has very rightly pointed out few of the stories which are panning out. Look, so I think on a broad basis, there is a good amount of market share gain, not just in India, domestic market, but also in the US market. There are new approvals, new FDA approvals which are coming through, which has been a consistent story though, but of late, I think the approvals have been fairly strong. There is a good demand in the generic market, new branded products have been coming in. And I think the entire research fraternity or the broking houses are bullish and are projecting a good high um, double digit growth for the entire pack put together. And that's one of the reasons why the entire pack has been rallying. If you see across the broking houses, everyone is fairly bullish and is projecting a good growth trajectory for the entire pack. So overall, all in all, yes, the pharma packs look good. And plus you have news flow which is helping the mood to my mind. I think the scenario of COVID again panning out to whatever extent it might just gives a little bit of impetus to these kind of sectors. And also, pharma traditionally has been a defensive sector. Whenever the market is an extremely exuberant mood, pharma or FMCG will typically come to the rescue of market and just sober down the mood. Or whenever markets are just sobering down, the pharma pack will kind of stabilize it. That's been one of the trends again, right? So yes, the pack is looking extremely strong as we enter this year. To answer one other part of your question, Suyash, along with pharma, the healthcare, diagnostics, and the hospital thing is also picking up. And that's mostly to do with the India story, the demographic story of India, Suyash. And I think that story is not going away in a rush out here. As a country, we desperately need good hospitals. We desperately need more beds per person. We desperately need good diagnostic services and healthcare checkup services. And I think Indians are just waking up to these realities, right? As your life becomes more corporatized, you need regular and frequent checkups, and urban lives have all become very tormentized because of whatever we see around and do around in a daily life. So I think the diagnostic pack is a long-lasting theme. You will have cycles, of course, but that's a theme which I think is an overarching theme in terms of how the overall country and the demographics is shaping up. So my sense is that's a pretty long cycle to play as you see more services at affordable prices coming in for a large number of Indians, and also Indians getting more health conscious and going for more kind of checkups and everything. So overall, yes, a pharma and healthcare pack looks extremely strong to me, not just in the immediate short term, but also from a very, very long term cyclical point of view.
Uh, Good morning, Mohit. Happy New Year to you. You spoke about the mood, and there is COVID that is happening. I'll just prod you a little bit more on that. Is it just COVID, or is the optimism specifically with respect to active pharmaceutical ingredients, which form the basis of most products in the pharmaceutical sector? Is the shift real, or is the optimism misplaced that most big giants will be shifting their basis, be it research and development or actual manufacturing, development of these APIs to India from China?
No, I think, Amit, what you're saying is also quite relevant in the market. And that story is also gradually getting played out. I think it's a mix of whole lot of factors. So COVID is just one sidekick. It's not the whole factor. It's not the main factor. Honestly, I think the pack on itself has been doing and producing extremely good numbers. And if you see multiple names also in this, when your heavyweights start working, which is your Sun Pharma going out and acquiring a company in Israel, your your Lupin hitting a 52-week high after a fairly long while. So when you see those heavyweights, old hands working good, I think then you know that the overall pack is doing good. And yes, I think the API story shifting from China to India, or some portion of Chinese production or manufacturing coming to India, is also true and is for real. And I think that also will help the pack again, but that's a long story how it will pan out. However, market is and will always discount these kind of news and these kind of positive sentiments much in advance, and which is what is happening in the market right.
All right. And, Mohit, Adani Group stocks, now they are also, rallying and rallying as much as 17%. Now, before I come to you, I'll come to Amit first. All 10 stocks from the Adani stable are in the green. They have rallied as much as, about 17% or so. And this, of course, as we know, is ahead of the SC verdict, which is expected to come out around 10:30 a.m. this morning. But give us a lowdown, Amit, how they have performed overall and how they are doing today, and how has the run been since the Hindenburg report came out?
Since the Hindenburg report came out in February last year, Adani stocks have regained half the losses that they incurred at that time. Even in just the last 1 month, Adani has recovered $46 billion in market capitalization just in the last 1 month. Post the allegations, almost $150 billion had been wiped out from the market capitalization of Adani stocks. So that is how it is. It has been performing since. It has been up and again away. And we have spoken about so many companies who have made gains, who put money in Adani post Hindenburg, and the windfalls that they have basically made in the last 1 year. So, and there is optimism right now because most people are expecting a positive verdict.
Is it more like, are people penciling in a favorable verdict? Because it does seem so. The street is gung-ho on Adani Group stocks. They are up almost as much as 15 to 17%. Adani Enterprise is up about 8% or so as we speak. And, it's only rising higher. But still a fair distance away from that January 24th price of about 3,800 or so. I think it's still down about 15%. What's your overall take on this Adani stable of stocks, and can perhaps we invest in some of these stocks at this point in time?
Hi, Suyash, and I think we've spoken about the Adani pack a number of times on your show itself, and somehow I think it's a coincidence that whenever we are speaking, there's something happening in that stock or the pack. So look, I think Street has completely penciled in a favorable judgment, and which was evident from the tone and manner of the proceedings which were conducted in the court, even which is evident from what SEBI has placed out in its report. So look, we can be negatively surprised on this, but I think Street is really right in terms of predicting what it is predicting. On the second part, it is still away from the peaks. Look, I think falling from 100 to 50 is a 50% fall, from rising back from 50 to 100 is a 100% jump, right? So it's always difficult going back to the same levels, but the way the momentum is, the way the rally is, plus the political scenario, the way it is panning out and everything, my sense is I think the Street is completely right in being bullish on the entire pack, right? And as I've always maintained on the show, that we typically try and stay away from stocks which are a little politically sensitive and otherwise sensitive. But yes, as of now, the overall packs look extremely interesting. I've always maintained on the show that I think in the entire pack, we typically like Adani Power, ACC, Ambuja. We like these names. And yes, if everything goes back in favor of the group, I think there's no reason. And plus, you have good foreign partners who've invested in a lot of money. The overall debt of the group has reduced. So I think the balance sheets are also looking much healthier than what they were a year back. So yeah, I think it's a great story in making.
Mohit, you mentioned Ambuja and some others. I would like to draw your attention to the one that has been rallying the most, which is Adani Energy Solutions, almost 16% today. Is it because of a smaller price of the stock, or is it something else that we are looking at?
And I think it was one of the stocks that corrected the most after that initial fall, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's to do with the entire green energy pack. If you were to look at the names like Suzlon or maybe some smaller names like Orient Power and Adani Power and sorry, Adani Green Energy, in that case, I think that entire green energy theme or the entire carbon neutral theme or the theme around whatever producing efficient forms of electricity, the EV theme, or so on and so forth. I think the you're getting my drift, right? In terms of these kind of plays, they've all done exceedingly well. I think Street is just factoring in a lot of growth and a lot of government thrust on this sector. Even when you saw in the listing of IRDA, which was a green financing company, you kind of saw the listing which has happened right from a it's still at 100 plus kind of a mark, I think, and I think the IPO price was around 32 or something. So anything and everything to do with that green energy theme has caught on the fancy of the market. And sometimes market can overdo their exuberance without the fundamentals being in place. But when markets are like really playing out the theme so well, you can be typically sure that there is something big happening and there is a lot of thrust and impetus from the government on these kind of themes. So which I'm sure will play out in a matter of time.
All right, that's Mohit Gang for you. Mohit, thank you for joining us here on News 9. Always a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much.